And welcome back to our
Welcome
show.
back.
Fun stuff we have for you today. Few things happened. Riots erupted in Ahwaz, Iran, because the government rerouted the water, and there was a bloodbath. It's been going on for over a week now, and yeah, this is what happens when you have a dictatorship in place.
No water.
No, they rerouted the water, and
I think
uh,
the problem wasn't necessarily just on the
no,
drinking
no,
water, on agricultural
it's
water.
agriculture. It was agriculture, and the sad part is the police over there and the riot team. They don't use rubber bullets. They use live ammo. So people were getting actually shot in the streets. I mean,
Is
this is
that
not.
because of sanctions? We should just take the
I mean,
sanctions from the rubber bullets.
this is it's not a new thing. Iran does this regularly. This is their thing. If any riot happens, they respond with live ammo. Um, and here, if you go to DC, you could burn the city down, and you don't even get a slap on the hand.
Well, it depends on which side. It depends on which side you are.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's
the
true.
devil is standing on
Uh,
the side of
Recently, there was shooting in D.C. A few days ago, and the police chief basically he's pissed off, I guess, only because the criminals who conduct these acts, they don't get a punishment. The whoever the attorney general is in D.C., they're morons. They basically let these people loose. They let them loose. They're back on the streets doing the same thing all over again. There's no accountability. There's nobody getting punished. Um, that is if you're on the left side of the aisle. If you're on the right side of the aisle, everything is an insurrection. Everything is leaning that you trying to topple the government, blah 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 blah, yada 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 yada, and crap like that. So interesting world we live in. But
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
not about the left and right at this point. It's about
at
big
this
city versus the rest of the country. That's what it is to
yeah,
me. Like
and
culturally,
uh,
money-wise, they just want to all this money they're sucking
the
in
and
to spend on big city corruption,
yeah, and
and it's a massive pocket with no ending. No
and
matter how much money you pour into it,
that's
it's a
right.
drain. So,
And look, if most of you,
and it's not even a pleasant place to live. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
It's
it's
just all
not.
that money just goes to waste and just
So,
stolen.
so
So
I don't know if you guys know this former police officer from Arizona. His name is Officer Tatum. He's a black guy who was a former officer, and he has a great show. And he talks about this. He talks about the black community and how pathetic they are by just voting for Democrats. And I was actually watching one of his shows today, and he was explaining to me that he goes and he was comparing the black uh, poor neighborhood in comparison to the
I
white
don't know
poor
if they
neighborhood,
would. Honestly, anything comes out of
and
big cities, I question.
and he
At
was
this
comparing the
point,
both. He's comparing both, and the comparison was
I
the black guys.
they use their presence, but I'm
They
not sure they're
they
necessarily voting and
they're
being counted. Yeah.
they're always leaning towards the thug life. They're always leaning towards being a gangster rapper and blah blah blah. Then he compares it to the white poor people, and they're just white poor community that they don't have the gang problem in their community. So if you don't you know who Officer Tatum is, I will put a link below to one of his shows so you can get to know him as well. He puts out a lot of good content. Uh, he compares it because he lived it and he was a police officer, so he also had first-hand experience. But the whole point is, I'm trying to compare what happens in Iran as far as a riot and uprising goes to here, how the reaction is and what is it over. People over there, they're fighting for for water and for food to live. People here, they're rioting and looting for a cause that the organization hashtag BLM is a Marxist organization. It's a terrorist organization, if you want to ask me.
Right. I mean, just the opinion.
It's a terrorist organization. All they do is cause disruption in the city. They don't care about the black lives. They have not cared about the black lives since the first minute they established that organization. It's all about money. They raised over $90 million. Not a penny has gone to any of the victims' families. Any of them. Not a single one. When you have the co-founder buying $5 million worth of properties in an all-white neighborhood. That's who they support. When an organization trying to destroy a nuclear family, trying to destroy livelihood, trying to basically push people to be dependent on the system. The system, what I mean is, don't have a father in the household. You don't have to work. We'll pay your welfare. We'll give you a food stamp, and that's it. And live in Section 8 housing. Do you think Section 8 housing has the best?
Literally, it's just a prison.
It's a prison.
It's a prison.
It's a prison.
and a
It's a
plantation.
sinkhole. It's a sinkhole.
It's a never-ending.
Right.
You don't want to be in that situation.
And look, there are poor people all over the world. If you are poor, the thing is, the poor people in America are richer than the poor people in the third world country. Put it that way. This is how it is. The poor people, the homeless in the United States are richer than the homeless in, let's say, Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, or the Middle Eastern country.
I mean, honestly, there are a lot of chaos going on. There are a lot of discourse in the country. There are a lot of noise. There are lots of violence. There are lots of dangerously getting close to a point of no return, in my opinion, as far as ideologically destroying this country with certain agendas. Now, why is that? What's the big picture? The big picture to me is the corruption always comes from centralization of power. When the founding father founded this country, the republic system that they established, not everybody could participate. Yes, obviously we have made some progressions and some changes. But at this point, honestly, we just have to take a serious look at this whole constitutional process of what does it mean to be a republic. A republic means the rule of majority and rights of minority. And we are seeing, with the double standard, we are saying, so if you're a Democrat, you're in D.C., you're in high power, you're Hunter Biden, Vice VP's son, you can just do whatever, drugs, whatever, and selling art, literally just a daylight money laundering. I mean, I'm in arts and antique business. I know that those arts just doesn't worth with anonymous buyers paying millions of dollars to buy some garbage, right? President Bush made arts after he left office, and he just went and charity and exhibited that. He didn't come and sell it to some anonymous buyers coming and just buying his arts for millions of dollars.
They're fraud.
Right, they can. Exactly. So this is a corruption. Let's not kid ourselves. Right? The FBI is an institution with no testicles. Corrupt and with no testicles. There's the white-collar criminal division is only being used for political targeting of certain more patriotic-leaning, Republican-leaning, let's just be honest, and then the rest of it. And these politicians, they don't fear the FBI. They don't fear. That's why they are just all corrupt. And then when you talk about centralization of power, right, all this power in D.C. and a few big cities, and with the stealing elections, corruptions, manipulation of everything that comes out of it, everything that is touches in big cities, I absolutely have zero confidence in it. It doesn't matter if it's election, I've repeated several times. It doesn't matter if it's their law enforcement. And honestly, Republicans are totally, when it comes to public messaging, are incredibly naive, inexperienced, and dumb.
Look, when you have...
Inexperienced and dumb. Why? Because the left always teases them with some topic, with some heavy topic. It doesn't matter, BLA. Okay, now you riled up about BLM this, BLM that, and stuff. They create something, right? And the Republicans reacting. You never distinguish what you are for. You're just against something. Okay? And that's a losing argument at the end. Because if I come sit down here and complain 24/7, right? It will not have resonance with mass population. You have to come up with the solution. You have to come up with ideas that nobody is talking about. You have to come and have your message displayed in a way that is unique, so it can break through the filters, right? Everybody's talking about this. Oh, these are corrupt. Okay, what? So what? And we have discussed that if conservative, I'm not even going to say Republican because a lot of them are corrupt, so I'm not a big fan of them either. But if conservative movement wants to, or conservative people in general in this country, wants to have a voice in this current system that the power, absolute power, is being concentrated in a few big cities, and they're just, taking all the resources, taking all the benefits, reaping all the benefits, and everybody else is pretty much getting shafted as far as just the middle of the country. You need to understand what the messaging is. Meaning, if they come and just bash police, you need to distinguish it. Don't go and say, I support even Trump. I like Trump. But I support law enforcement, everybody. Okay, I support the good police. I don't support police in big cities. Okay? Let me just put it out there. Now, imagine if Republican politicians and stuff, when the Democrats start all these riots and stuff, we support good police. The police in our areas are excellent. The police in your areas are the ones that are actually causing all those violence, right? Minnesota is all Democrat run. George Floyd his death was responsible by the police force in all Democrat city, all Democrat run, all those laws, all those police regulations, all done in a Democrat city. But when you come and take back the institution that is run by them, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Why would you do that? Why would you support the police in big city? Why should I support the police in New York City? Do I believe that police in New York City are good people? Many of them probably. But as an institution, do I trust them? No, I don't trust any institution operating in big cities.
Because they operate under the district attorney.
Conservatives need to distinguish that. Not just only about the police and all that, because let's put it this way. Black folks, they have good grievances.
Hook up that blood pressure machine again. Hook up the blood pressure machine.
Yeah. They have good grievances, right? Systemic racism. The Democrats come and say, there is systemic racism. I love it.
Because they're the number one racist.
I say absolutely there is systemic racism, and you're responsible for it, because where they live is your area. So if there is any failure, you're responsible for it. Nobody from boonies in Alabama is coming and oppressing somebody in Brooklyn. Okay? And this is the problem with the media. Liberal-run media is good at the deception game. Deception is their specialty.
You want to know how ruthless they are.
You have to distinguish.
You want to know how ruthless the system is. About a few days ago, a DAA agent, Agent Ibrahim, was arrested for trespassing charges on January 6th. A DEA agent, okay? He was at the Capitol, not inside. He was not inside, okay? When we say FBI is also corrupted, is because a known FBI informant, his friend, was there right next to him filming, telling him you should go inside, telling him you should walk in. And he refused. He's like, no, dude, I'm not going to go in. This guy, was an official DEA agent, was carrying a pistol at the time where he is authorized to do so, because DEA agents can actually carry pistols on the plane as well. So what happened? This guy was holding the American flag. He took some pictures with some statues in the building. He was on the Capitol grounds. Took some pictures. Flies back home with the gun on him, because as an agent he could do that. Gets home. Then what happens? Then they fire him from DEA for being there at January 6th. a guy who was there protect, like this is his words, he was there to protect the citizens. Regardless of his political background, he was there as a DEA agent. When you become an agent, there is no off duty, on duty. You're 24/7 because you're carrying a weapon on you 24/7. You're carrying a badge on you 24/7. So you technically are on call. If anything happens, they're gonna call you. Hey, they're like, yeah, you need to go here. You're on call. So he did not step into the Capitol. He did not. They're getting him on trespassing. They're getting him on vandalization of monuments.
Yeah.
They're getting him like on bullshit charges. Bullshit.
Which-
Because he was there on January 6th showing his support for a president that he likes. Right? He didn't riot. He didn't shoot anybody. He stepped on
burn
few...
cities.
When you go to D.C., corruption erupts. D.C. is just a cesspool. It's garbage. D.C. it's a swamp. It was created from
It's
a
out of
swamp.
control.
It's
Right
always
now,
a swamp. It will remain a swamp. Whoever runs D.C., they are the swamp creatures. This is why the D.C. police chief, he's had it. This guy lived there, grew up in D.C., and he's like, I had enough of this. We cannot even charge anybody that causes any type of damage in the city because they don't charge them. They just let them go.
They burn historic churches. Nobody get arrested and
they
prosecuted
burn
for that.
exactly
Because they are supported by
because
parties. Historic
they're
church.
so scared. They're so scared because of the virtue signaling.
This is right now is getting to a dangerous territory. Now, what you said actually, in a sense, is funny because you said what I said is FBI has become a corrupt organization and with nothing because all these politicians claimed, Edgar Hoover, had a list of blacklisting and stuff. Yeah, if you have treasonous bastards in this country trying to destroy this country from within, as a law enforcement, they should have lists on people that they have from within the country trying to overthrow the system in this country. Any country does that. Anybody who understands any national security matter, any society, you have some set of ideas, everybody needs to bind by that. If somebody starts bringing communist garbage over here and expect to be just, change this country without any resistance or any fight, good luck. Good luck. We have come from places that actually witnessed revolutions, right? Lots of people died. Lots of chaos happens. And that's because you have a set of system, you had a monarchy, and then some people from inside, and then they said, Shah's regime was violent against a few of the protesters and all that, right? Using propaganda, supported by some groups at that time, and now the same people that they came to power executed tens of or hundreds of times more than anything that the previous regime executed. Or had
under the name of religion.
Regardless of their political opposition.
Under the name of religion.
So if you think that this system is bad or whatever injustice, wait until you face a communist regime over here. Look at Cuba, what's going on over here. Do you think Cuba's communist regime has been a just regime? Hasn't executed political prisoners?
It's U.S.'s fault.
Hasn't destroyed lives for the past 6 decades?
It's U.S.'s fault.
What do you think happens when these people are going to come out? Do you think they're just going to leave you alone? Do you think they're going to leave us alone just because we have different ideas? They're going to come and confiscate your shit? They're going to come and just threaten you for everybody to abide and just obey? And then there are going to be people that they're not going to do that. And then things are going to get ugly. And these people are evil. People with this kind of ideology are totalitarian evil. This country is a great country. It was founded based on great ideas. It needs to be maintained if there is going to be safety, peace, and prosperity in this country. If this is broken, then you are not going to have peace, you are not going to have prosperity, and you are not going to have nothing.
You're always going to be miserable.
It's going to be misery, like any other places that this evil system has been established. Now, what you said is funny, because do you guys remember the case of the Michigan governor, Gretchen Whitmer, whatever her name is, the Wicked Witch of the West?
The FBI.
So, FBI had 12 people, 12 informants. 2 of them has been arrested for felony since. 12 people to entrap 6 people that supposedly were planning and plotting, and the leader of the group was an FBI informant. If you need more informants than people who are supposed to be orchestrating the crime, at some point, at what point, that's going to go from informant to become entrapment. That means you are actively entrapping somebody. Let's say I have strong views on somebody. Somebody comes and say, hey, Attila, let's do this, do this. 5 more people come and say, hey, Attila, I'm your buddy, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? They try to entrap you. And then they record you, and then they try to set you up. And then when you show up somewhere, oh, this person was going to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's all lies. It's all political persecution.
There were 2 groups of FBI agents that had their informants. The informants were working together.
12 informants to entrap 6.
Oh my God! And the best part
the leader of them was an informant.
And the best part is one of the FBI agents.
Jesus Christ!
Got arrested for felony.
2 of them for felony.
Oh man, this is a joke.
That's the reason I'm telling you when I said centralization of power is a disease that in any form of government, once it's established, it's hard to get rid of, and no matter, there is going to be no freedom in that society, right? China, for example, do you think like China is a great place to live? Then why these people, they don't go over there? You can't even own property over there. People, they lease house from government for 70 years. You can buy a house in China. Did you know that?
Yeah, you cannot own a house in China.
You lease from government
70
for 70 years.
70 years you're leasing from the government.
Because the communist government, there is no
nobody owns any properties in China.
Unless you can amass wealth. Yes, if you're close to the Communist Party of China, of course. For them, rules for thee, not for me. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. That's where we are living.
The Democratic
right now.
Party.
You are seeing this. Rules for some group of people with certain ideology, demented, crazy, anti-family, anti-God, anti-country, anti-constitution. And I say it openly because that's what it is. That's what they're saying.
Prove us wrong.
Why should I prove us wrong? Why should I hide myself or just hide what I'm thinking when you are 24/7 bombarding the country with garbage? 24/7 deception and propaganda, spewing hatred toward this country from all media held by them. So, and where are these media located? They are not located in Nebraska. They are all located in a few select cities, and that's where towers of corruption. That's what it is. You step out of that is good, beautiful country, good American people, decent places to live, decent places to work. But the thing is, this corruption, the resources, they're never enough, right? 2008 financial recession, the Great Recession, less than $1 trillion stimulus. Under this COVID, they're now dropping in a bucket $5 trillion, $6 trillion here.
Pennies.
And then they said, there is no inflation when you're freaking your eyes. You can see the inflation when you go to a store, when you go to the gas pump, when you go to when you look at the housing prices, when you look at the material, when you look at the labor. We have lived in inflation. It's not as bad. But if the same thing continues, who says that it's not going to get to that point?
You have 5% inflation per month. Everything is going up by 5%. Gas here jumped from $2.19 to $2.97 in a matter of 3 months. That's almost...
no, more than that. It's over $3 now.
No, I mean, I pump at Costco.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. Like the average people that they
average is over $3. Average is over $3. But anyways, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the share button, subscribe to our channel.
Be free. Be brave.
Don't give up your security.
Be brave. If you love this country, if you love your family, if you love your heritage, of all backgrounds, anybody, this country is a great country. I know people from every background, decent folks, right? That's why I don't believe the garbage that they are saying. They are not the majority.
They're not. They're not. It's
It's
pure
just a
garbage.
divide and conquer, always some chaos, always some garbage. And we are just breaking it down to you. But in order to fight back that narrative, we need to distinguish our own narrative and be strong about expressing our own narrative.
Yeah.
And
So
that's how it is.
yep. Go ahead. Anyways, hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit the share button. Like this video. Leave your comments below, so we could give you guys more content.
God bless
give you guys
America.
more entertainment. You know, our blood pressure is constantly going up, so
I gotta check my blood pressure.
he's gonna go back and check his blood pressure again. Live free, man. Keep the fight going. Keep on fighting.
Be
God
brave,
bless
be
you.
free.
God bless this
bless
country.
America.